Welcome back to the official YouTube channel of Call of Duty Zombies forums. I hope you had a happy holiday and are ready for a smashing 2021. As for us, we're excited to announce that Book 1 of the CoDz Storybook project has been released. The Storybook project is a set of 5 books chronicling the Ether storyline in a novel format. To commemorate Book 1's completion, we'll be reading the prologue in this video. To read the rest of the book, click the link in the description to get access to the full book for free. Ascend from Darkness by Rad Zakpak, and voiced by Neverzunter. Prologue. NACHT. Location. An abandoned airfield. Sergeant John Rain, June 4th, 1945.
Status!
Unbroken silence within utter blackness.
Damn it, is anyone out there? I can't see a damn thing!
Sergeant Rain felt around the dark cockpit, searching for a recognizable element of the plane's interior to orient himself, or better yet, any sign of life. As he felt around, shards of broken glass from the cockpit window and coarse gravel grazed against his palms. Rain could now be sure that the plane had not turned upside down, with the base of the pilot's chair felt just below him. Now that he was sure how the plane was arranged, he could find a way out. This wasn't how the mission was supposed to go. Following Germany's formal surrender, the OSS had enlisted Rain and 4 other men in his squad to ensure the safety of a spy by the name of Peter McCain as he was escorted into the country. Their primary objective was ensuring McCain infiltrated Group 935, a scientific research organization partnered with the Germans during the war. They flew under the cover of night to avoid arousing any suspicion about Agent McCain. As Rain crawled toward a source of light, he began to remember the moments leading up to the crash. All the systems aboard had malfunctioned, and the engines had given out, seemingly at random. Perhaps it was sabotage by agents working for Group 935? It seemed unlikely, given the amount of preparation that went into this vital mission. If this truly was a freak accident, American forces would soon recover Rain and any survivors of the crash. McCain must be one hell of a spy for the U.S. to send 3 planes carrying squads of U.S. Marines as an escort, Rain thought. With Peter on the inside, the U.S. could have eyes and ears on 935's scientific advancements and leadership. During the war, Group 935 had aligned with Nazi Germany, and they may be responsible for numerous war crimes committed within that partnership. With spies on the inside, they can be exposed for who they truly are, and the research they created can be put to greater use. At least, that's what they were told. Rain could now see the faint moonlight seeping in where the plane had crumpled upon crashing. Cautious, the sergeant drew his Colt and crawled towards the hull. His ankle had been badly twisted after being tossed about in the plane. He eyed the foggy landscape through a breach in the fuselage. No one in sight. He waited a few more moments for any sign of life. Radio silence. Rain crawled out from the debris onto the harsh gravel outside, and a sudden odor struck him. He was so taken aback by the scent, his arms crumpled beneath him and his eyes began to water. It was the stench of rotting human flesh, reminding him of Guadalcanal. Balance regained, Rain raised himself up, eyeing his surroundings. No Germans, but none of his fellow soldiers either. On the other side of the plane was a seemingly abandoned bunker, worn and rusted from many hard-fought battles of the past, but now lying still in this foggy airfield. The thick fog prevented Rain from seeing anything in any direction besides the bunker and a couple of power lines. On closer inspection, the bunker was caved in and heavily damaged due to falling debris from the plane, but the structure was still standing, lying dormant and silent amidst the fog. Surrounding the small bunker were rusty metal barrels and a few German army trucks, their beds full of cargo. Upon a closer inspection, he found the crates within were marked with an insignia, a pair of wings, between them, the head of a wolf. There was also another symbol. It looked like a gear surrounding a hand with electrons spinning around the center. The arm of the hand was made up of the Waffen-SS insignia, and in the center, the numbers 935. Group 935 was here, at this abandoned airfield. For what purpose? At the nose of the plane, a similar truck was seen destroyed by the crash, its cargo spread out along the flat ground around the plane. One such crate had been flung several yards near where Rain had emerged. From a large hole bashed in the side of the crate, strange glowing blue rocks could be seen inside. Rain waited a few moments before getting back to his feet. The pain in his ankle was nigh unbearable, yet Rain stood up, deciding to take a chance to find the others in his squad.
Rook!
Only the wind.
Turner, you with me?
Waning light.
Hunter! Come on, anybody!
Rolling fog. For what seemed like an eternity, there was only silence. Then, faintly, a voice called out to Sergeant Rain.
Sarge, come quick!
The voice was coming from the bunker, and Rain could not quite catch whom the voice matched. He lifted himself up on his good leg and staggered towards fellow life with renewed purpose, before stopping dead in his tracks. It erupted like thunder, the boom echoing across the desolate landscape. There were groans and yelps in the distance, becoming clearer as something was approaching. A group of yellow-orange lights appeared in pairs deep within the fog, shifting about erratically. They started small and then grew even larger until the outlines of their bodies became clear. Several dozen, around the size of grown men with piercing orange eyes and a hellish hunger, stumbled across the field towards Rain. Distinguishing features could now be seen, flailing arms, flapping jaws, and gray skin. As they came closer, the monster's intentions became clear, and they were headed straight for Rain. Rain dove into the plane to find a gun with more ammunition for the ambush, but the shambling bodies had transitioned into a full sprint, shoving each other away to try to reach his position. Rain dropped his Colt in the darkness and was forced deeper and deeper into the plane as the beasts piled into the tiny, cramped hole in the side of the fuselage. There was no route of escape as they pushed even further inward like a wall of flesh. Rain ran his hand along the walls to find what he was looking for. Finally, the rations compartment was in front of him. Rain desperately scooped weeks of rations out and stuffed himself into the tiny compartment. He could barely fit his head in, being forced into a fetal position with his head in his lap. Rain shut the door in a panic, gripping the emergency interior handle with fear. The sound of banging, crashing, groaning, and clawing were heard outside the compartment for the next hour. Rain had begun to panic from his claustrophobia, but his fear of the beasts that wished to reach him inside was far greater. Sweat and tears soaked the shaking man within the plane, trapped by an unknown enemy. From within his prison, the soldier heard the faint sounds of gunfire outside. Surely that was his squad mates coming to the rescue. They would kill the things outside, and finally this hell could be over. But the banging and screaming continued. Sergeant Rain stayed within the plane's ration compartment only a few days before finding peace in death. He had water on his person, which lasted a short time, but the rations, only a few feet away from him, were beneath the boots of the monsters. No one came back for Rain, and his squad's screams of terror were heard by no one else but the undead.